Hey all, Jason Levon, priest at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and welcome to another edition of Pause and Pray. Last night I led a virtual Taizé service at church through Zoom, and when I got back to the rectory after the service, I found Christy in tears. Now don't worry, they were the good tears, the tears that come when we find ourselves nourished by something beautiful and deep and rich and holy in life, when we find ourselves in our lives rooted in true sustenance. And that sustenance came from our 22-month-old grandson, Grayson, whom we lovingly refer to as Jackaroo. Many of you know that in December, Christy's daughter, Vanessa, died at the age of 29, leaving behind a 5-year-old daughter and then a 22-month-old now son. And last night, Vanessa's partner, before she died, Tara, sent us a beautiful video. Tara has been surrounding Jackaroo and McKenna with so much beautiful love in these trying times. And last night, Tara wanted to cheer up Christy, so she sent Christy a video of Jackaroo saying for the first time the word Oma. It's how we refer to Christy. She's Oma, German for grandma, and I'm Papa J. And Jackaroo said Oma with such a big and beautiful smile in between kisses with Tara. It was a holy moment, one that filled Christy's eyes with tears of joy and peace, with tears of being truly sustained in life. My eyes were wet too. In today's daily office, we reflect on the beginning of chapter 4 of Matthew's Gospel, where Matthew reflects on Jesus' journey deep into the wilderness and solitude and hunger and all the temptation that would surface in the midst of all of that. And each time Jesus faces this temptation, he experiences this gift of finding his life rooted in true sustenance. And for Jesus, that true sustenance comes from the richness of his Jewish tradition. A tradition he's anchored in and comes back to with each temptation, recognizing that we don't live by bread alone, as he says, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. And then, when the temptation seems to subside, Matthew adds this precious detail, that Jesus wasn't left alone, but angels came to minister to him, to continue to root his life in that which would truly sustain him, not just in that wilderness experience, but as he stepped back into public ministry and where that ministry would lead him, namely the cross, and then even through the cross and into Easter. It's yet another gift of Easter that we continue to unpack and celebrate this Easter season. The gift of God's ability again and again to root our famished lives in true sustenance. An invitation to pause and pray about how we experience that happening in our midst. Maybe it's experienced through those life-giving hobbies that sustain us during this crazy and wild time of pandemic. For me, that's things like playing the guitar or tending to tropical fish or feeding the birds or doing work around the grounds of the church. Or maybe we experience them through the words of others, the first words of others, words like Oma, which remind us that our lives, and in fact all of life, is rooted in something so much deeper and more sustaining than we could ever imagine. So much deeper than any pandemic or wilderness or darkness or dying we may face. We come to celebrate that all of life is rooted in Easter. God's Easter peace and blessings, God's Easter sustenance fill you all.